The guy that's not holding his weight is the guy that's making $75 million this year. That's Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott had a QBR of 10 on Sunday. Dak Prescott threw for 212 yards, had a touchdown, 2 interceptions, a quarterback rating of 58.8, and he threw a pick 6 in the fourth quarter when the game was pretty much out of reach. Sometimes I watch my TV and I can see certain coverages and I can see who's covered and say that, okay, that guy is covered. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's nothing developing here. Throw the ball away. And Dak will just throw a pass when he knows the guy is covered into traffic and makes bonehead decisions week after week after week. You have your Dak supporters out there, and listen, I'm a Cowboys fan. I don't hate Dak. I just don't see what most of those people see in regards to, oh, he's a top 5 quarterback. He is not. Top 5 quarterbacks don't continue to make the same mistakes that Dak Prescott has been making for about 4 years now. So, people are saying that this is the worst stretch of football that Dak Prescott has been playing in his career. Over the last month, he's had 8 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. We remember the stinker in Denver. We remember the missed throws against Kansas City. We remember the decent game that he had against the Raiders, but the defense didn't show up. And now this game. What we're seeing here is a quarterback that is trying to figure it out as he goes. Instead of being able to command the offense and be reliable. Right now, Dak Prescott is not reliable. He's not. So, I'd like to tell you why this is not a slump. I don't think that this is a slump. I just think that this is who he is. Great quarterbacks, they tend to play well to the start of the season, and there's tape on you, right? So coaches can be able to game plan. They can watch film. They can see how you break down the defense. They can see what type of plays you like to run, what your tendencies are. And sometimes you see quarterbacks start to struggle in the middle of their season. They'll have some rough games. Hell, we've seen Brady have some rough games this season. Not in regards to Dak level struggle, but he's had some struggle games. The game against New England, in New England, that game was a struggle. He didn't play particularly well. So there's times where even the great Tom Brady doesn't look like himself. Like the game plan is that much better than his preparation, and he doesn't have a great day. Cool. But the greats adjust. So it's just like a fighter. You get into the ring, you start to feel it out, you see the counters, you counter, and then you have that wonderful flow of action because you're thinking, you're adapting, you're adjusting, and you're seeing what the counter punches are. You adapt. You do your homework. You start studying film, and then you adapt to them. That's what Drew Brees did. That's what Tom Brady continues to do. That's what Peyton Manning does. That's what Pat Mahomes does. That's what Russell Wilson does. All the great quarterbacks do it. You know who doesn't do that? Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott does not adjust to when defenses adjust to him. Remember the couple of years back before the contract, I think it was 2019, where Dak came out firing. They weren't playing any great teams, and Dak looked like a world beater. You know, they had a contract in place, and he ended up ripping up that particular negotiation and wanted a brand new deal. He wanted $40 million. And Jerry and him began the bidding war, right? They began this fight. But it all stemmed from that particular start. So Dak will start hot, but then Towards the middle of the season, he started to struggle. Towards the end of the season, he started to struggle. He had a terrible year that year in regards to how it finished. We didn't win a division. We didn't make the playoffs. And what are you paying for? That's how Jerry looked at it. Last year, they end up starting very slow. Dak Prescott's throwing a whole bunch of yards, but they're not winning games. It's not translating on the field. So the struggle is there. Where's the adjustment? What we're seeing right now is the same thing. Started off hot. Dak Prescott is an MVP candidate. Looking great, finding receivers, moving around. But then the defenses start to watch tape. They start to adjust, and he can't adjust. Now, if people want to talk about the calf injury that he suffered against New England, and that's holding him back, okay, that may be a valid excuse. But what's the excuses for the other years that he did it? Don't worry, I'll wait. Anybody have anything? So, this is what I'm saying. You can be able to make that excuse if you want to this year. What about the previous seasons? So this is why when people say that Dak Prescott is a top 5 quarterback, I'm looking at them in regards to what quarterback are they watching. When they say that Dak Prescott is a top 10 quarterback, absolutely he's a top 10 quarterback. He's 10. Hell, if you want to be honest, I think Dak is a top 15 quarterback. That's where I've always had him. He's good. He's not elite. If your defense is great and your defense gets stops and your running game is on point, your offensive line is playing well, you can win a Super Bowl with a Dak Prescott. But Dak Prescott is not going to win you a Super Bowl. There's a difference. Dak Prescott is not going to win you a game when things fall apart, when things break down. Brady can do that. Drew Brees did that. Peyton Manning used to do that. Pat Mahomes, I've seen do that. Russell Wilson, I've seen do that. I've seen these great quarterbacks lead their teams when there's nothing there. I've seen it. I have yet to see Dak Prescott do that. There's a stat out there. The Cowboys are 29-0 when they run more than they pass. If that doesn't tell you that Dak is not an elite quarterback, I don't know what is. I really don't. That's the problem, is that you're paying $75 million for decent. There's nothing wrong with decent. You can live your whole life being decent. You can live your whole life just being a basic, regular person. Get a nice 9-to-5 job. Meet a nice girl. Have a nuclear family. Work your job for 40 years and retire. There's nothing wrong with that. And then you got those people that live the lavish lives as well. So there's nothing wrong with B, but don't think that you're living a B life and you're an A person. That doesn't match up. Live your B life and be happy in the B life. But don't live your B life telling everybody that you're an A, that you're an elite, because you're not. And although Dak is not going around saying that he's an elite quarterback, but if you ask him, I'm sure he'll tell you yes, his contract tells us that that's what he's supposed to be. Dak is decent, but he's making elite number 1 quarterback money. He's the highest paid quarterback in all of football. Now, you can be able to have a debate about, hey, it's next man up and doesn't matter who it is. But that's what the reality is that he's getting paid to deliver when there's things that are not happening correctly, when things are not operating well, when things are breaking down, when the offensive line is not doing great, he's still got to find a way. That's what that type of money warrants. Dak Prescott can't show you that. He can't give you that because he continues to make bonehead reads throws the ball to people that I don't even know were ever open. He should have had 3 or 4 interceptions on Sunday, to be honest with you. If Taylor Heinicke had a quarterback rating of 15, they win the game. That's how ineffective Dak Prescott was. So the Cowboys have a big problem on their hands. Can the defense continue to play like this? Possible. They're one of the surprises in the NFL this season. But they're playing so well that being a pessimist, because being a Dallas Cowboys fan makes you a pessimist, you don't trust it long term. You don't know how long this is going to last. So we need quarterback play. We need the running game to be great. We need play calling to be good. And we don't have that all the time. So we have an inconsistent head coach in regards to his 2-minute drills and his clock management. We have an inconsistent offensive coordinator sometimes who gets a little too cute. And then we have a quarterback that's making a whole bunch of money that makes terrible decisions throwing the football when he should not be doing that. Dak threw a pick 6 and made the game closer than it should have been. Shouldn't have been a pass that was thrown, but yet he does it. So the Cowboys have a big issue on their hands. The defense looks great, but the person that they weren't supposed to worry about is giving them reason to worry.